Shine from Simplex, and this is the last video of the Rise of the Tomb Raider set of videos that we are making. This one compares Tomb Raider Reboot 2013 with the Rise of the Tomb Raider that was launched for PC on 2016 28th Jan. Hopefully you like this video. Let the intros roll. First, we compare the game settings for Tomb Raider 2013 and Rise of the Tomb Raider, and as you can see, both the games offer an extensive set of control. So just pause the video and check them if you want to. Next comes the facial settings. I'd like to start with Tomb Raider 2013. For its time, the game had pretty good details. But obviously, once Xbox One and PlayStation 4 got released, the definitive edition had better details. Anyway, the PC one still looked decent. But now look at Rise of the Tomb Raider. This game simply blows off Tomb Raider 2013. And that is what we expected from Square Enix, didn't we? Look at the details of the skin. The skin pores itself are also visible. Granted, this video is a cutscene that is more or less rendered in your PC too. After this, this is the part I'd want to talk about. Look at the settings and make no mistake, this is rendered on your PC. This is not a cutscene, this is a gameplay footage. Look at the details of the face, starting from the eyebrows to the pores on the skin. Everything is absolutely gorgeous. So yes, hats off to Square Enix for such a large improvement over the last Tomb Raider. In the next part, we'd like to talk about the hair. Now, from Tomb Raider 2013, the hair is all the rage about Tomb Raider, isn't it? I mean, Tress FX was the name of the effect or graphical option back then. It almost looked like Tomb Raider applied the best quality shampoo out there. But jokes apart, it looked pretty decent. But then something called Pure Hair came out in Rise of the Tomb Raider. Now, Tress FX was an AMD option, but the CTO of Square Enix told in the live stream that they developed, Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix developed on the Tress FX effect out there and made something of their own called Pure Hair. Now observe very carefully. They say they are rendering 30,000 strands of hair in real time. I mean, that is something, isn't it? Now, if you compare this with the Tomb Raider 2013, you'll see a stark difference. And in 2013, if you see, the hair floats over the skin. This is something that I wanted to show. It never touches the body. In Rise of the Tomb Raider, that is completely taken care of. And just when we thought it couldn't be improved further, the sheen of the hair, the overall looks and the quality is much better than Tomb Raider 2013. The next part is the texture quality. By texture quality, I'd like to first mention the texture resolution. Tomb Raider 2013 was pretty meek when it consumed the VRAM. Tomb Raider, like 2016 or Rise of the Tomb Raider, is a VRAM hog, and there are good reasons for it. Look at the texture resolution of Tomb Raider 2013 carefully. They look nice for their time. But once I switch to Rise of the Tomb Raider, you will see that the texture resolution, the overall environmental quality, everything is much better. Look very carefully at the rocks. This is something that we're going to compare on. This is the closest scene we could get. So look very carefully at the rocks, guys. And then let's switch to Rise of the Tomb Raider right now. And now take a look at the rocks. The shadow of the rocks on itself, the crevices of the rocks, everything looks picture perfect. Do you see the shadow around the rocks? The texture resolution of the rocks? That is something that is much better. Now, talking about textures, we cannot go without saying the texture of Lara's clothes. That also looks much better. Once Lara is drenched in the water, once she takes a swim, it looks much better. It actually looks like her clothes are wet. And yes, overall the texture quality is insanely better. And right now again the same footage that I had given for the facial quality, take a look at it. Take a look at the tree behind the rocks on the right and Lara's like skin overall. It looks seriously awesome, guys. Everything is much better compared to Tomb Raider 2013. Kudos to Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix for this awesome game that we have in our hands. The last part of this shootout is the shadow quality. Now take a look at the shadow of the Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's softer, it's nicer, right? If you see their soft shadows, and also take a close look at the shadows casted by individual objects on itself, the ambient occlusion to be specific, right? The shadows casted by the ambient lighting, even on Lara's face, the shadows casted by the facial features itself, and specifically the hair. Take a very good look at it. The shadow resolution is awesome and they're soft shadows. Now let's move into Tomb Raider 2013. Immediately you see a huge difference. The shadows are a lot sharper. And guys, at the end of the video, I'd like to tell you, please if possible, view this video in 1080p 60 FPS, the way it's meant to be seen, if you really want to see each and every details. Take a look at the shadow of the hair of Lara. The shadow resolution is very poor. Now mind it, we have maxed out the settings in both the games completely, so this is the best Tomb Raider 2013 can get, and even at its best it falls short of Rise of the Tomb Raider, something that is expected. So I'd like to conclude the graphics shootout between Rise of the Tomb Raider and Tomb Raider 2013. Over and out.